Episode 222. The Rising Stones is alive and once again bustling with activity. And yet the most important faces, apologies to everyone else here, are nowhere to be seen. Which are, of course, the main scions. Where have they gone off to? You know where Stola is, and of course Alfie Node. How about the rest of them? We've been getting sidetracked a lot recently, maybe it's time Komori gets back to the main quest. We're gonna march right up to Alfie Node and ask him, where the hell is everyone else? As if he would know. At least I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't actually know what the subject of the patch 3.1 main quest would be. That is what we're getting into right now, I think. No more distractions. No more of these guys hanging around outside with a blue quest. I guess there's this guy, the House Durinder Knight, and Torsifer's over there, who both have orange quests, but we're not worried about that right now. Maybe later. Just stand outside in the cold for a few more months or something. We'll get to you eventually, maybe. No distractions. Fortuitous timing as always, Komori. Tatara was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. Okay, I guess they're right. If you would be so kind then. Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that Ryo and his men have been making excellent progress. You'll remember how Philomene helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Nimsa, only to then disappear? Well, according to Ryo, she crept aboard a ship bound for Radzatan, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papa Limo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Ryle thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Why though? Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. Oh right, I guess all of the Crystal Braves were also in on the link pearl conversation. We don't have like the encoding technology that the goblins have. Pretty much anyone can listen in as long as they have a corresponding link pearl, I guess. Maybe. We need a new set of link pearls, I guess. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. And what of Thancred and Infilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is we've enlisted the services of a Charlian scholar, one of the students of Balesian, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. I was wondering when this was going to happen. I didn't remember the exact moment in the story, but I guess it's pretty soon. Maybe even this episode? One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Amaric has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Komori, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards? Agreed? Sure, I guess we're getting sidetracked by this again. In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Night for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone for too long, you know. How did they ever manage without you? Of course, we're not actually getting sidetracked by this, it's the main story, but it feels like the main thing we should be worrying about right now, after we kind of solved all of Ishgard's problems, sort of, is to worry about our own problems. Mainly our missing comrades and all that. Good invariably trumps over evil in fairy tales, yet they are conspicuously reticent about what follows. Right. I guess this is what follows, what we're dealing with now. The Lord Commander is within. Pray proceed, miss. We won the war, now what?
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely.
Well, what, are we gonna elect a new pope?
Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop.
I mean, who wants that again?
But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
Right, exactly.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited. Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
For real this time, I guess. How we're gonna do that, I don't know. There's no giant dragon to kill. We're battling civil unrest.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Enix Shrine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Enix Shrine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Alright, I guess I did forget there is still a giant dragon to kill. But we're doing this diplomatic mission first. The journey at least should pose little difficulty this time. Yeah, we can teleport right there. I guess Lucia can't though. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this Enix tribe. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, that even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, ere we set forth, Komori and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Totoro, Komori. Traversing the western highlands calls for warmer clothing, yet there are only so many layers one can fit under plate armor. It's almost nighttime. Probably should have started this earlier in the day if I wanted daylight for these cutscenes. I thought you might want to tell her. Or would you rather I did all the talking? Isn't that how it usually goes? So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. It was a secret, but we can tell you. A diplomatic mission to Enix Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Rodolfnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Ishtola in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be. Time permitting, as I said, we shall endeavor to join Ishtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Komori. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Tell us the rest of that thing you were saying. Well, let no one say I didn't try. Okay, fine. We're too busy, says Elfinode. One task at a time, Komori. Besides, I have no doubt that Ishtola can look after the scholar by herself. You are ready then? Good. So am I. Give me the hot chocolate, for no other reason other than I like hot chocolate. If you and Master Alphinaud would be so kind as to lead the way. The pass is long, but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the western highlands and make for Tailfeather, in the Dravanian forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Which is the route that we would take if we were going on foot. I guess we're supposed to RP that our character did all that, but we're teleporting right here. Just pretend like we normally do, that we did all of that RP stuff. And we're entering from this angle, if we're pretending. What a long journey, the sun is already setting, but we made it. Strange, this is only my third visit to Tailfeather, yet the first feels as though it were a lifetime ago. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army, and here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Oh, there goes the sunlight. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysayle to our cause, I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands. I mean, I questioned them too for that exact reason. Men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yeah, the children part, I think we kind of left out of the text, but I guess it was implied. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in service to that of greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. That kind of sums up a lot of the complicated stuff about Ysayle being kind of on your side, the entirety of Heavensward, pretty neatly in like 1 or 2 dialogue boxes. You ask much, Master Alphinaud, yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course. We must press on to Enix Shrine, if you will follow me. Oops. Oh, we can just teleport there too. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Ysayle. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, Knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth, that King Thordan and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatoskir, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth. A truth which was at last laid bare by the warrior of light, the Azure Dragoon, and Ysayle. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysayle once did. And we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people, in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nass grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on a peace for want of patience. Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon, my humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith. Until we meet again. Well, that went well. Seems like these two get along. Never did I think to see a knight of Ishgard come into Enix Shrine bearing words instead of steel. Would that the Nass could show the same restraint. Too many children have fallen to their spears and muskets. But not the Nass that we're friends with, right? I guess these guys are the Vass, and she's talking about the Nass, completely different. To face such a creature in battle is one thing, to converse with it quite another. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Because you can just teleport, right? What exactly are the limitations on teleportation? For, people that aren't players? Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Sharlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was. And thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alfinode. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. And there we go. She's right there. So, it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new, investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idleshire. Which again we can teleport right to. Unfortunately, our meeting is going to take place in the Shroud of Darkness, known as Nighttime. I mean, it's not terrible, it's just the lighting at daytime is better for thumbnails. And we want to make our new friend a thumbnail, right? That's what I would do. Another conspicuously uneventful journey. It would seem we are destined not to be late. Yeah, uneventful, because we totally didn't teleport here. Ah, Komoy, 'tis good to see you. I confess I had assumed your business in Enix Trine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Americ's proposal with Facefelger, of course. But she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlian guest? Has she arrived? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. I could always do my little trick, too. Change the thumbnail to daytime if I have to. It's just more work on my end, though. It would seem we're early. Shall we wait? Wait, back in Ishgard, what was she trying to tell me? I guess Alphinode's in for a rude awakening or something.
I'm terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
That's actually... Isn't that her current voice actress, I think? Surprisingly, they haven't changed it around since her first introduction, which is this.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Charlian motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
We've heard the name Kryle in the story before. It'd be the first time we actually met her, though. Or saw her, even.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss.
Drop the miss, but likewise.
And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Okay, here we go.
We, Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
By which he means babysitting. She babysat him.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Must have been pretty bad if it's got him acting like this.
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Isn't that exactly what we did with Uriander when he pulled out his binoculars or whatever he's always wearing? And, like, followed Ishtola to wherever she was whisked away to by her teleportation spell? I guess this is different somehow.
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best you explain your plan to her in person.
Alright, and off we go. Alexander is still sleeping peacefully, it seems. Peacefully enough. This was a later patch. Right, it would be for this one. We're now settled into the pattern of doing the usual patch quest stuff, in the same order that we did them in A Realm Reborn. All of the main story stuff that was released in the current patch, and all the dungeons, and all the other side content, whatever that might be. With all these society quests mixed in between whenever I find a good place for them and all my grinding is done. And raids, of course, also in the patch structure. The Crystal Eye is one of Master Matoya's most treasured, most cherished relics. I doubt very much that she will grant us leave to lay hands upon it, unless we can convince her that it is vital to our cause. She was less than flattering about my technique when we last met, but this time I've come prepared. Let her belittle my obsidian carbuncle if she dares. Do not tell her I said that. No, tell us all about how impressive your obsidian carbuncle is. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? Why don't you go knocking on that door over there? This time you handle the defenses. It's only fair, right? It's like a hazing ritual. Whoever doesn't know about this secret cave has to handle the defenses. I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread. I guess there are no defenses this time. That's not fair.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Damn, Ishtola. You know how to get her.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the Students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Right, the Isle of Val. That mysteriously disappeared during the events of A Realm Reborn, due to, presumably, Ascian interference. Which Kral was believed to be on, but then, well, I guess she wasn't. And here we are now.
Regrettably, our Order's headquarters and the Isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Oh, she was on it. I see, so the Echo somehow saved her? How'd that work?
Cryle, you too possess the Echo.
Right. I guess we're learning this just now.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our Order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
Like the Echo.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
Oh, so it's one of those? Like one of those 6 things that we've been carrying around? I guess other people have gotten them.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
How could you? It's a different shape.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light.
Okay, well I'm glad we're getting this explanation, because I feel like whenever they appeared in A Realm Reborn and when we were restoring power to them in Heavensward, didn't really understand why that was happening. I mean, obviously it had to do with Hydaelyn's blessing or something, but at least we're getting some concrete text about it.
But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
Right. Yeah. The dwindling strengths. I see. Interesting. Put a pin in that.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which served to guide the elementals to Y'shtola.
Wait, so what exactly was her power here? Because I thought she could converse with beasts. Well, we have to scroll over to the next one, I guess.
Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
So what exactly was she saying? She can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts. So that just means like a universal translator for people that can already speak languages? Or does beast mean like Is that separate? A subcategory of animals that, I don't know, are more ferocious than, say, a chipmunk or something? Can she talk to a chipmunk? Probably not. I guess this is just a communication with those that already have it. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. I'm sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Intent, essence, and right, the elementals, which I guess would be another thing she could converse with, that aren't beasts but also aren't people that you can normally talk to. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al.
Well, that's convenient.
It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
Right, I guess that could have happened.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Does she have anything else to say? Might as well check before we leave. No one ever comes around for tea anymore, and that's because you never actually serve it. No, it's always saving this, preventing that, or mending the god's forsaken other. Anyone would think I was in good company. Yeah, I wonder why. That being said, I am actually pretty pleased whenever we have to make a visit here. Doubly so whenever Ishtola comes with us. Not this person is doing the introduction quest, I guess. The one that, brings you here in the first place. I guess she just teleported inside. At least I think that's it. Right, we're going to Tailfeather. Tailfeather? No, wait. Right, it's still here in Dravania. And as if we arrived from the outside, because we totally don't teleport, even though we're involved in a story plotline right now that is centered around the use of teleportation, I guess. Well, maybe that's the reason. Maybe nobody wants to teleport anymore because everyone's scared of what Ishtola did. We had forests like these on the Isle of Val. Yeah, I know. My grandfather and I used to go for walks together when I could prize him away from his work. It was the least I could do for him, considering everything he has done for me, taking me in when I was an orphan, raising me as his own and giving me a name. You didn't think my parents named me Kral Baldessian, did you? Right. What your parents named you? Sure. Thancred may be a capable warrior, but he was wounded when last I saw him. If any base were nearby when he emerged from the life stream. he would have been hard-pressed to repel them. I'm sure he could do it. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Are you sure? Because I think your first instincts now would be to build a fire. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of an unknown allegiance. And even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kyle. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. Oh, are we doing this now? This is impressive. You drew him from memory? A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. Do we ever get the backstory on this? Alphinode's unusually astute sketching skills? I guess we don't get to see the sketch this time, or whatever. I propose we split into 2 pairs. Each Chola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Komoy and Cryle question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Aspas and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. Aye, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Okay, right. We get the backstory right now. I forgot this little detail. I'm glad I'm relearning it. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you finish making your rounds. Did he ever impress those young ladies? Draw them as a dragon. That'll impress them. Searching for a friend of yours? Let's have a look then. Alphinode's sketch. A surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alphinode may have mistaken his life's calling. How funny. No, ain't seen him around, sorry. Great. What about this guy? This guy that knows all the guys. Surely he would know. What's that you've got there? A sketch? Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a Bandersnatch by himself, and with style. Way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of the Bleeding Ball. Sound like your man? Yeah, I'd say it does. This friend of yours, if this friend of yours is as skilled as you say, then he's sure to have found a way to survive. Still, if he's out there on his own, it's only a matter of time before he runs afoul of something he can't handle. How's your search? Pray excuse me, but have you seen this man before? And this guy, who we always talk to as part of the vast society side quests. A Huron man? We're not exactly rare, you know. Yeah, I guess, we can do better than that. Could you be more specific? I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Thancred with an axe. Doesn't actually sound like Thancred. If he was hunting chocobos, he was doing a piss-poor job of it. The birds would have smelled him coming a mile away. I know I did. Alright, Stinky. That does sound like Tancred. Maybe it is him. Finished. In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. I guess we have 2 potential leads on our end. Maybe the others have something we can narrow down the rest with. We were to meet here, were we not? Oh, looks like the sun's coming back out. That's good. Right in time for this cutscene, I guess. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so for receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Huron hunter, with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build matched Tancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. We got the same, kind of. So, you have heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a vast trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. What, you don't think the Vath are refined, Krile? Well, you might be right. You're implying that Tancred sent a Vath to market in his stead? Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the livestream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Tancred found himself in the same predicament. Alphinaud, don't put your sketching skills to use in this particular case. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vass, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Krile, quite right. I guess we're carrying some of these? No, wait, we're carrying high-quality versions of these. These are useless to us. I guess these are not in our inventory in any shape or form, so... Oh wait, we get both anyway. They're basically just trash. Honestly, that boy, some things never change. Guess Alphinaud's tact is still kind of, in shambles after meeting Krile again. Given that Alphinaud seems to recall the details of my return so vividly, I would rather he did not draw me from memory, talented or not. Right, I guess the same thing was on her mind. Well, what have we got here? Should we do this now? There's only 5 minutes left in the episode. Let's make a short pit stop over here. We can say we're just dropping by here to, I don't know, get a drink of water or something. Stay hydrated. When Komori gets accosted by one of these many guys holding a side quest, which I can use to fill in time or something. I think the non-mine drone was something I was interested in. This is the one that we brought back from, like, all the way over in the Nas territory, right? Who realized they had free will. We are non-mind now. We think clearly now. We have left the hive, but we want to go even further. We want to see the realm. Click, click. We of the non-mind, we are independent. As independent creatures, it stands so we ought to be free. Loss as Vas is not like loss as Nas. You may leave at any time. It is no prison. The Vas all live free. We owe the Vas a great debt of gratitude. Click, click. Hunter, could you help us? We need 3 hipposurf skins. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Are they at least nearby? Hopefully. They're actually so nearby. This quest should be over way quicker than I thought. There's one. Alright, let's set down our ley lines right around here. After we do this. Just out of range. I'm not leaving my ley lines for that, just put up Mana Ward. And that was fast. Actually, right on time, I think. Or not, for the end of the episode. Whatever. It doesn't have to be exact. Not you. Do you have the hipposurf skins, Hunter? Thank you, kind Hunter. Click, click. Hipposurf skin is truly exquisite, especially raw. Storyteller, please eat this hipposurf skin. Eat it as it is. It is truly exquisite. Okay. Click, click. Thank you. Munch, munch, munch. This is truly exquisite. They keep saying that word. Click, click. If you insist. Munch, munch, munch. Yes, it truly is exquisite. Click, click. We are glad you like it. Now we intend to go out and see the realm. And there they go. I guess that's it. Oh. I guess they don't actually like it? Could have fooled me. I just thought it was a weird bug thing. They were just humoring their guest. How funny. Spit, spit, click. That was truly disgusting. What terrible, terrible taste. What such is individuality. How weird. Okay. Well, on that note, let's rejoin with the rest of the party. Unfortunately, now I've got these floating spheres lingering around me again. Komori is going to have to figure out a way to get rid of them again. She hasn't really figured out that part of the magic yet. So she's just going to stand here and try to make them disappear through sheer force of will. While she does that, now would be a good time to take a break.